Hello guys, welcome back. So this is the chapter third of class ninth, drainage, right? So let me divide this chapter. So this chapter is, if we make a mind map, this chapter is divided into three parts. The first part is basic terminology, like what is drainage system, what is drainage basin, what is water divide, then what are the drainage patterns, right? So first we'll discuss the first part about these terminologies. In the second part, we'll discuss how the drainage uh, system in India is divided, right? So it's divided into two parts. The first is the Himalayan river system, and the second is the peninsular river system. And finally, we see the lakes part, as well as the river conservation, right? What has government done? So these 3 to 4 parts is the basically you can make a mind map, right? So let's start with the part one. That is the basic terminology. What is drainage? Drainage is the river system of an area, right? What is drainage basin? The area drained by single river system. Okay, so that is the drainage basin of that river. For example, the Ganga river, the Ganga drainage basin, okay, covering uh, uh, parts of MP, UP, Bihar, uh, parts of Delhi, complete Delhi, then Haryana, right? One good example is that uh, the Ganga drainage basin is the largest drainage basin in India, and as far as the world is concerned, the Amazon drainage basin is a drainage, yes, is the largest in the world in terms of area, right? Uh, Now the two drainage basins can be divided by an upland. So that upland is known as water divide. One good example of water divide in India is, for example, the Western Ghats. Himalayas is not a perfect water divide owing to the fact that rivers like Satluj, rivers like Indus, they cross the Himalayas. These rivers are antecedent rivers, so Himalayas are not a good water divide. Even Ganga is also antecedent river, because although the Ganga doesn't, Indus, Brahmaputra, and Satluj, they cross all the three Himalaya ranges, the Himadri, the Himachal, and the Shivalik. But Ganga, it crosses only two, the second, Himachal, and the Shivalik range, right? So that was about the drainage basin. One good example is that the city of Ambala. The city of Ambala, it lies on the water divide, right? That is between the Indus, and the Ganga. So Ambala lies on that water divide, right? Right. So it is written here. The Ambala is located on the water divide between the Indus and the Ganga river system. The plains from the Ambala to the Sundarban stretch nearly 1800 km, but fall in its slope is hardly 300 meters. So yeah, so it is written. Beautiful line, right? So this is Ganga river system, this is Indus river system, and this is the thing here. Okay, so after that we have drainage pattern. So this is the drainage pattern, right? These are the four drainage patterns. So the streams within a drainage basin form certain patterns depending on the slope of land, underlying rock structures, and climatic conditions, right? Written here. Even on the three factors: slope of land, underlying rock structures, and the climatic conditions. So we'll discuss 5 types of drainage patterns. First is the dendritic drainage pattern. So a river channel, when it follows the normal slopes of the terrain, forming a pattern which is like a tree. Okay. for example, the Ganga and the Godavari. Second is trellis drainage. Many times the hard rocks are lie within the soft rocks. So you can see here, here are the green color are the soft rocks which break the hard rocks. Here brown color. So rivers, right? So these are the alternate, the parallel, that is soft, that is soft layer and the strong layers, they are parallel to each other, and hence rivers, they join approximately, the streams, the channels, they join approximately at the 90-degree. Okay, so this is trellis drainage pattern. Next is the rectangular drainage. The rectangular drainage, it happens in heavily jointed rocks, okay, jointed terrains. Rectangular drainage happens. By the way, the trellis drainage pattern is seen in Appalachian Mountain. So the difference between rectangular drainage pattern and trellis drainage pattern is that rectangular drainage happens in rock which is the action of tectonics. Okay, there is faults, but trellis drainage pattern doesn't happen because of action of tectonics. Trellis drainage pattern happen because of the lithology, right? The hard rocks, the parallel are the soft rocks, right? So these alternating hard and soft rocks is the reason for the trellis drainage pattern. By the way, trellis is a net, is a structure which is diamond shaped. Okay, the word trellis, if you see the word tree means three. Okay, lis, so three, although it's a four shaped, means if you see every unit of that structure, actually that structure is used so that the vines can climb on it. Okay, so these are the trellis. You can see here, it actually forms a trellis, that structure. All right, so we discussed, yes, trellis happens in, one example is Appalachian Mountain. So we discussed dendritic, we discussed trellis, we discussed rectangular drainage. Next is the radial drainage. The radial drainage, the stream flows in different directions from the central dome. For example, the Ranchi and Amarkantak, right? And finally, we have the parallel drainage. For example, the western slope of the Western Ghat form the parallel drainage system, right? Okay, so we discussed the first section of this chapter, that is the basic terminologies. Next, we move to the drainage system of India. See, the drainage system of India are mainly controlled by the broad relief features of subcontinent. Accordingly, the Indian rivers are divided into two major groups, the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. Apart from originating from the two major physiographic regions of India, the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers are different from each other in many ways. Yeah. So let's discuss. Yeah, the Himalayan rivers, they make gorges, right? Alright, so difference between Himalayan and peninsular rivers are, Himalayan rivers are young, so they still make gorges. Peninsular rivers are old, so they don't make gorges now. Himalayan rivers, they since they move in soft alluvium, and hence meandering is possible in plains. But peninsular rivers, owing to the fact that they move in hard rocks, so no meandering happens in peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers, they change their course during the season. For example, Kosi River, the peninsular river have fixed path. The Himalayan rivers have long path, right? The Himalayan rivers have long path owing to the fact that the distance is very long. For example, the Ganga has roughly 25 kilometers, right? 2525 kilometers. The peninsular rivers, they are short pathed. For example, Godavari is the largest river of peninsula. It's 1465 kilometers. The Himalayan rivers are perennial, right? The glacier is the main source of water. The peninsular river is seasonal, right? The rains are the main source of water, that too the southwest monsoon. But the exception is Kaveri, because Kaveri also receive rain from the northeast rains. The average height of Himalayan rivers is roughly 4,400 meters, and this is the reason why glaciers are found there. The average height of peninsular river is peninsular mountains, and peninsula is 800 meters, right? And hence no glacier, no permanent source of water, right? Okay, so next we move to the first Himalayan river, that is Indus River, right? So basically, the three important drainage basins in the Himalayas are the Indus River system, the Ganges River system, and the Brahmaputra River system. So these all are antecedent river before rivers that were flowing before Himalayas emerged, right? Indus, Brahmaputra, Satluj, right? These are flowing in Tethys Sea once upon a time, but now they are flowing in owing to the fact that Indian subcontinent, Indian plate hit it, right? The antecedent rivers from the eye-shaped gorges, right? The eye-shaped gorges, example, the Indus River makes Sindhu Gorge in Jammu Kashmir. Satluj River make a gorge, Shipkila Gorge in Himachal Pradesh, and Brahmaputra River make Dihang Gorge in Arunachal Pradesh. The left bank tributaries of Indus, yes, very importantly, all these rivers, that is Jhelum, Chenab, Bias, Ravi, Satluj, they are the left bank tributaries of Indus, right? The Indus River system, these rivers, IJCRBS, right? Ravis, right? So the Indus and Satluj, they originate in Tibet. Jhelum originates from Jammu and Kashmir, and Chenab, Ravi, and Bias originate from Himachal Pradesh. Very importantly, among all the rivers, only Jhelum originates from Jammu and Kashmir. Rest, Chenab, Ravi, and Bias, all these rivers originate in Himachal Pradesh. None of the river originate in Punjab, right? Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, and Satluj integrated are known as Panjnad rivers, right? And meet the Indus at Mithankot, right? Indus originate near the Mansarovar. There is a glacier known as Chema Yongdung Glacier. Jhelum originates from Sheshnak Lake, right? Barinag, in Jammu Kashmir. Chenab originates in Baralachla Pass, near to Baralachla Pass, Himachal Pradesh, right? And Ravi originate near Rohtang Pass, right? Ravi, Rohtang. Bias, which is south of Ravi, it also originates in the southern part of Rohtang Pass. And then Satluj originates in Tibet, very near to Mansarovar. There is a lake known as Rakshas Lake, right? Rakshas Tal. Bias is the tributary of Satluj. It doesn't originate, it is the only river not to enter Pahak, right? Next, next if we compare the length of river, so big saggy is how you can remember. So Brahmaputra, Indus, Ganga, Satluj, Godavari, and Yamuna. So that's the trick. Panchnaad meets Indus at Mithankot. Okay, so Indus flows between Ladakh and Zanskar, right? Ladakh is north, Zanskar is south, and Leh lies on the bank of Indus, right? Next, Jhelum it passes through Ullar Lake, right? Jhelum passes through the Ullar Lake, and it also forms the Indo-Pak boundary, right? Srinagar lies on the bank of Jhelum. Since Kashmir is a plain valley, right? It's a plain, right? And hence Jhelum, even being on Himalayas, it starts to meander. So much so that from Anantnag to Baramulla, it is a navigable route, right? It is also believed that the Ullar Lake, Ullula means to, making tides. It's a Sanskrit word. So from Ullula has come the word Ullar, and it is such large, and it is believed that due to meandering, Ullar Lake is an oxbow lake. Apart from that, also due to tectonic activities, the river has changed its path, forming Ullar Lake because of the shifting of glaciers. Next is Chenab. Chenab has its origin in Himachal Pradesh. So it originates in Baralachla, which is north of Rohtang Pass. Next is Satluj. Satluj originates, as I've already told, from the Rakshastal near Mansarovar. It passes through Shipkila, right, forming Shipkila Gorge. Other important tributaries of Indus rivers are like the Gilgit, the Shyok, Nubra. Nubra is, by the way, tributary of Shyok, and Shyok is in turn the tributary of Indus, and Zanskar. Zanskar is also a river, right? So let's right. So the Indus river rises in Tibet near the Lake Mansarovar. Flowing west, it enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. It forms a picturesque gorge in part. Several tributaries, the Zanskar, the Nubra, the Shyok, and the Hunza, joins it in Kashmir region. The Indus flows through Baltistan and Gilgit and emerges from the mountains at Attock, right? So Attock is a plain currently now in Pakistan. So it is normally said that from Attock to Cuttack, India was there once upon a time, right? And it should have been the original India anyhow. The Satluj, Bias, Ravi, and Chenab and Jhelum joined together to the Indus near Mithankot in Pakistan. Panjanad, right? We discussed it's known as Panjanad. Beyond this, the Indus flows southward, eventually reaching the Arabian Sea east of Karachi. Total length 2900 kilometers. Yes, a little one third of Indus, more than one third of Indus River basin lies in India, and according to Indus Water Treaty signed in 1960s, India can use 20% of the water of Indus River basin. The next is Ganga river system. The headwaters of the Ganga, called the Bhagirathi, is fed by the Gangotri glacier joined by the Alaknanda and Devprayag in Uttarakhand and Haridwar, and Ganga emerges from the mountains on the plains. So, we have already discussed, it is the largest river system in India, right? So the Ganga system is made by Bhagirathi and Alaknanda. Bhagirathi rises from the Gangotri glacier near the Gomukh in Uttarkashi, and the Alaknanda, it starts from Satopat glacier, right? So Dholi Ganga, see, first is the Vishnu Ganga. Vishnu Ganga and Dholi Ganga join at Vishnu Prayag, making Alaknanda, right? So Pindar river and Alaknanda meet at Karnaprayag, right? Then this Alaknanda and Mandakini meet at Rudraprayag, and finally again Alaknanda and Bhagirathi finally meet at Devprayag, right? Forming Ganga river, right? Now the Ganga passes through 5 states: UP, UK, Bihar, Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. Uttar Pradesh has highest length, Jharkhand has least length. The tributaries, it again distributes in West Bengal uh, in two parts. The Bhagirathi, right, which enters into Bangladesh as Padma, and Hooghly, which is known as it goes to south. It is also forms big. So from Hooghly to the Bhagirathi or to the Ganga in or Padma. Padma joins Brahmaputra, which is known as Jamuna in Bangladesh, and there is another river, Barak, which originates from Manipur, also known as Meghna in Bangladesh. So from Hooghly to Padma or Meghna, we have the Sundarban Delta, one of the largest delta in the world. Hooghly River is joined by Damodar River, right? So the Ganga Brahmaputra Delta, we have already discussed, largest delta, also known as Sundarban Delta, owing to the fact that Sundari trees there, right? Hooghly to Meghna. The mangrove trees, the Casuarina and the Sundari trees are here. Mangrove forests are also found in states like Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh, but West Bengal has the highest area. Next is the Gujarat, and next is the Andhra Pradesh, right? Godavari Krishna Delta, there is mangroves. The left-hand tributaries of Ganga can be learned by the trick that राम ने गोमती के घाघरे पर गंदी कढ़ाई की. Ram, Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi, and finally Mahananda, which forms the border of West Bengal and Bihar. The right-hand tributaries can be remembered by trick चैन से बैठो क्यों यमुना को तंग कर रहे हो सन. Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. These are the tributaries of Yamuna. And then Ton and Son. These are the only two tributaries of Ganga which join Ganga from the peninsular plateau of India. Ton and Son. Yamuna is the largest tributary. It in turn has four tributaries, that is the Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Ken, which originates from Malwa Plateau. Ton and Son, as I've already discussed, the Yamuna is the only Himalayan river joining Ganga from the right hand side. Okay, Gomti, which originates from the plain, it joins Lucknow. Lucknow and Jaunpur are on the banks of Gomti river, right? So that was about okay. The Ganga flows eastward till Farakka in West Bengal. This is the northernmost point of Ganga Delta. The river bifurcates here, right? So Farakka is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta, okay? And the westernmost point is the Hooghly River, and the easternmost point is the Meghna River, right? So we discussed all these things. Next we come to the Brahmaputra river system. The Brahmaputra rises in Tibet, right? So this is the Ganga river system, right? The Brahmaputra, it again starts from a region very near to the Mansarovar lake. It's known as Sangpo in China. It's known as Dihang in Arunachal. It's known as Brahmaputra in Assam, and it's known as Jamuna in Bangladesh. It takes a U-turn very near to the Namcha Barwa, right, which is more than 7 kilometers. It makes an eye-shaped gorge known as Dihang Gorge. It is joined by Dibang and Lohit from Arunachal Pradesh. It enters the Assam plain, right? In that area is known as Sadia, right? And Sadia to Dhubri is the Assam plain. It's a ramp valley, right? There are so many islands in between, making a riverine island. For example, Majuli is the largest riverine island of the world, and India's only riverine district is in Majuli. So from Sadia to Dhubri, the route is navigable, forming National Waterway 2. So Dibang, Lohit, Dhanshri, Subanshri, Jia Bhareli, and Pagladia, Manas, and Tista. These are the tributaries of Brahmaputra. Manas originates from Bhutan and Tista originates from Sikkim from the Jimu Glacier. Right? An important fact that beyond 4400 meters, we have the glacier point, and the Himalayas, the average height is 6000 meters, right? If I said it 4400 meters, make it 6000 meters. And hence, if you see, even before arrival of complete, right, Brahmaputra Ganga soars in summer. Why do they soar in summer even before arrival of monsoon is due to the fact that the glaciers melt more in summer, right? So this was all about the Brahmaputra. So this is the Dihang River, right? Yeah, Dihang River in Arunachal Pradesh, and the Dibang River from the. Okay, how will you differentiate between Hang and Dibang? Okay, so you can remember from the word Bhai se madad. So, right, Bhai se madad. So Dibang, B is for Bhai, and Bhai comes for help, right? Help for Dihang, right? Okay. So Brahmaputra, and so known as, we already discussed these facts. Next we move to the peninsular rivers. The main water divide in peninsular river is formed by the Western Ghats. Okay, let's see the peninsular rivers. Right. So the peninsular rivers, they are not perennial as it is seen in the Himalayan rivers, right? We will divide the peninsular river again in two parts: the Arabian Sea flowing river and the Bay of Bengal Sea flowing river. So the first river, see, we have to remember the trick. दाम सोने का बताइए, ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश जी ने गॉड कृष्ण से पूछा, कृष्ण कहे भाई तांबा है. दाम फॉर दामोदर, सोने फॉर सुवर्ण रेखा, बताइए फॉर बैतरणी, ब्रह्मा फ्रॉम ब्राह्मणी, महेश फॉर महानदी, गॉड फॉर गोदावरी, कृष्ण फॉर कृष्णा, पूछा फॉर पिन्नार, कहे फॉर कावेरी, भाई फॉर बैगई, तांबा फॉर ताम्रपर्णी, right? So Damodar, the origination point is Chotanagpur Plateau, it meets Hooghly. Swarna Rekha, again Chotanagpur Plateau near Ranchi, and its mouth is in the Bay of Bengal, right? Next is it originates again near Ranchi, but owing to the fact that there are many factories, for example Jamshedpur and Ranchi itself, is the river, so Swarna Rekha is extremely polluted. It's no more Swarna, it's a lifeless river. Next is Baitarani. The Baitarani river, it starts from Keonjhar Plateau, not from the Chotanagpur Plateau. It flows completely in Odisha. Brahmani again starts from the Chotanagpur Plateau near Ranchi, right? So the three rivers, Dam, Sone, Ka, and Brahmani, that is Damodar, Swarnarekha, and Brahmani, they originate in Chotanagpur Plateau. Mahanadi again originates from the Dandakaranya Plateau. It's in Chhattisgarh. and it makes it a delta. It starts to form in Cuttack, right? Chhattisgarh basin is also known as the rice bowl. Godavari, it originates in Trambakeshwar. It is the largest South Indian river and also known as Budhi Ganga. Okay, and it makes it a delta in Rajmundri, right? Pravara, Purna, Manjra. Pravara, Purna, Manjira, Venganga, Penganga, and Pranhita. These are the 6 tributaries of Godavari and also Indravati. So 7 tributaries of Godavari. Among them, Venganga is the largest tributary. Indravati, it originates from the Odisha, goes to Bastar and meets Godavari, and it also forms the boundary between Telangana and Chhattisgarh, right? Manjira is the only north tributary of Godavari, and on Manjira we have Nizam Sagar. Next is the Krishna. Krishna originates second largest peninsular river, originates from Mahabaleshwar, flows to Western Ghats. From Mahabaleshwar from Western Ghat and makes it delta in Vijayawada, and the tributaries are Tungabhadra, Ghatprabha, Malprabha, Dudhganga, Panchganga, Bhim, Koyna, Musi, right? So Tungabhadra is a river made by 2 rivers, the Tunga and Bhadra. The Musi river is on the banks of Musi river we have Hyderabad. The Krishna Godavari Delta is a joined delta between Godavari and Krishna, and in between Krishna and Godavari we have Koleru Lake, which was once a lagoon, right? Next we have the Pennar. Pennar originates from the Kolar gold mines. It has been in Karnataka. It is known as Pinaka, right? Owing to the fact that Lord Shiva's Astra, Pinaka, right? There is a beautiful story, kindly read it. Next we have the Kaveri. It originates from the Brahmagiri or the Pushpagiri, right? And it's also known as the Dakshin Ganga. Kaveri Valley is also known as the rice bowl of India. It's the only river which is perennial in nature, owing to the fact that it receives rainfall from both southwest monsoon and also the northeast monsoon, right, during winter rainfall. Flows through Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. I mean, it's a watershed. I mean, it's a watershed is Kerala, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. So Rimsa, Arkavati, Devvati, Amravati, Kavini, Bhavani, Lakshmanatit, and Lokpavani are the rivers of Kaveri. Vagai is on the bank of Madurai. We find Vagai, right? Flows in Palk Strait, right? So this is just before Kaveri. This is Vagai, and Rameshwaram is here. Finally, we move to Tamraparani. Tamraparani from the Agastya Malai Hills. Very interesting story how Agastya Rishi came here and how he got from Shiva's boon. He got a lady which was shining as a copper, right? Copper leaf. So hence Tamraparani, and hence even the name of the origin is Agastya Malai. And it finally flows in the Gulf of Mannar. Okay, Tamraparani is the last South Indian river, right? Next, if we move to the rivers of flowing in Arabian Ocean, we see that the rivers are like Luni, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, Tapi, Mandvi, Juari, Shravasti, Gangaveli, Periyar, and Bharatpuja, right? So let's start. First of all, Luni River, it dissipates and diffuses in a Ran. It originates from Aravali, it dissipates in Ran of Kutch. Ran means Daldal, okay? It all passes through the Sambar Lake, by the way. Uh, the next rivers. So, by the way, we are discussing here 5, 6, 11, 11 important rivers flowing in Arabian Sea. So, the first river we discussed was Luni, right? We discussed, that's over. Sabarmati, the next four rivers, Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, and Tapti, we'll be discussing. They all dissipate or make their mouth, although they don't make mouth, it's more of an estuary. Estuaries are the areas where the waves and tides they dominate rather than the river delta being dominating, right? So Sabarmati, Mahi, Narmada, and Tapti. These all flow in Gulf of Khambat finally, right? So if we move to Sabarmati, again originates from Aravali near Udaipur, in Mewad, Udaipur, right? Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad are on the banks of Sabarmati, and finally follows in Khambat. Next is Mahi. Mahi originates in Vindhya mountains, not Aravallis, and it passes through the Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and it cuts the 23.5 degree twice, right? Flows finally to Khambat. Narmada originates in Maikal range, so this is Maikal, which is the part of Satpura. So Satpura has got three parts: the Rajpipla, Mahadeo, and Maikal, right? It forms a rift valley. Jabalpur and Bharuch are two important cities on Narmada River. Flows through Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. The marble rock and the gorge formed in Jabalpur, the Balaghat, and the Dhuadhar are important and very picturesque places formed on this river. Tapi originates from the Mahadeo. Okay, so the Satpura has three ranges: Rajpipla, Mahadeo, and Maikal. Mahadeo, from Maikal originates the Narmada, and from Mahadeo originates the Tapi. Again forms the Rift Valley, right? Satpura range is between the Narmada and Tapi, right? So you can say Satpura forms a water divide, and Satpura is between, and yes, it also passes through Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, and Ukai and Karakar hydroelectric power plant is in Gujarat. If we move to the rivers, the Western Ghat rivers, they are, since the western part of Western Ghat, it's very slopey in nature. The slope is gradient is very high, and hence waterfall is very speedy. This results in the best area for hydroelectricity generation, right? So, and see, there are two sources of water for these rivers. First source is the southwest monsoon. The second source is the water filled cracks in the river, right? These two sources cause the perenniality of the rivers. For example, the Mandavi. On the Mandavi we have the Panji, right? Mandavi river we have Panji. Jiwari also flows through Goa. Then Shraveti, Ganga Valley flows through Karnataka. Shraveti forms the Jog Falls in Gorsoppa, roughly 271 meters. The Pamba, Periyar, Bharat, Puja rivers are in Kerala, right? So a very important fact that the river Kaveri makes the second biggest waterfall in India, known as Shiv Samudram, right? The hydroelectric power generated from the fall is supplied to Mysore, Bangalore, and the Kolar goldfield, right? Shiv Samudram on Kaveri. Beside these major rivers, there are some smaller rivers we have already discussed, right? Next, we move to some of the important lakes, right, which is the third part of this chapter. So, lakes are very picturesque, right, and very important for the fact that they supply the water for the regions which are very arid in nature, right? So, let's discuss some saltwater lakes, right? So, Chilka Lake on the Odisha is a lagoon. Koleru Lake in Andhra is a lagoon once upon a time, but owing to the fact that both Godavari and Krishna have made their deltas, so the Koleru Lake now has been it's an inland lake. No more it's a lagoon. A lagoon is a lake which has a very narrow opening to the sea. Excuse me. Hence, it's salty, right? So you can see here, Koleru Lake it has been inland. Next is the Pulicat Lake. The Pulicat Lake is towards the south of Koleru Lake, very near to the Chennai, right? Yes, it's also a lagoon. Also, the Vembanad Lake in Kerala it is the longest lake in India. On the other hand, Chilka Lake is the largest lake in India. The Vembanad Lake has, the Nehru Trophy boat race happens in Vembanad Lake. It also has an important island known as Wellington Island from where these races are taking place. Apart from that, the Pulicat Lake, important part of Pulicat Lake we missed or ignored was that the Pulicat Lake, there is a small island, and from that island, since Pulicat Lake is a lagoon, and hence the water waves don't come, it stops. So Sri Harikota Center is there where the satellites are launched, right? Next, will discuss Ashtamudi Lake also. Ashtamudi Lake is the region from where the first satellite launch of ISRO was about to take place, but delayed. These are also known as Kayals in Kerala, right? And the next saltwater lake is the Lunar. Lunar Lake is a meteorite impact lake in Maharashtra. So these Lunar Lake, it is the only world's only few. There are not many hypervelocity meteorite impact lakes on basalt rock, right? Since Maharashtra is formed of the volcano, so it's made on basalt rock. Important fact is that scientists are intrigued by the fact that it is both saline as well as alkaline, right? Roughly 35 to 52,000 years old, right? So that was the Lunar Lake. It's also salty. And finally, we have Sambhar Lake. Sambhar Lake, Somoriri, and Pangong So. These are all are considered to be the Tethys remnant. Sambhar Lake is in Rajasthan. The Somoriri and Pangong So are in Jammu and Kashmir, right? If we move to the freshwater lakes or the normal inland lakes in India, the other lakes are of Jammu and Kashmir. Or if we move to the lakes which are man-made, right? So we discussed what are saltwater lakes. Next we discussed some of the lagoons. We discussed lakes which are inland but still salty, owing to the meteoritic impact or owing to the Tethys remnancy, right? Some of the man-made lakes are on the big rivers like Chambal. Although Chambal is not a big river, but it has helped make 3 big man-made lakes. For example, the Gandhi Sagar Lake in Madhya Pradesh, right? Next, we have the Jawahar Sagar in Rajasthan and Rana Pratap Sagar also on the Chambal River. Next, the Godavari River has the Godavari River's tributary Manjra. It supports a lake known as Nizam Sagar, very near to the Medak in Telangana. Krishna's tributary has Krishna has one lake known as Nagarjun Sagar in Telangana. Right. Next, right. So Krishna forms Nagarjun Sagar, Telangana. Then one of the Ganga's tributaries, Son, has its own tributary known as the Rihand. And so this is the Ganga, and this is Son, and this is the river Rihand. In Rihand, there is a big, India's largest artificial lake known as the Govind Ballabh Pant Sagar. The area is both in UP and MP, and it was based on a freedom fighter and one of the first chief ministers of UP, the Govind Ballabh Pant, right? On Kaveri, we have Stanley Lake on Tamil Nadu, and on Satluj, we have the Govind Sagar Lake, right, which is in Himachal Pradesh in the honor of 10th Sikh Guru. It is formed by the Bhakra Dam in Punjab, right? So that was all about the man-made lakes. Now the lakes, like Uller Lake, like it is formed. It is also freshwater lake. Now next we will move to some of the other lakes. The Uller Lake in formed because of the Jhelum River. See, Jhelum starts from the Biri Nag Lake here, right? And then it passes through the Uller Lake. Uller Lake is actually an example of Oxbow Lake formed by the Jhelum. It has also an effect of tectonic movement. Now, most of the Rajasthan lake are salty in nature because of and they are of aeolian in nature formed because of lots of wind activity has eroded the soil, forming a water table when there was rainfall, right? Next, the Loktak Lake is also known as the Kebulam Jayo, right? It's in Manipur, right? And it's the world's only floating national park. Now, the lakes in Jammu and Kashmir are like Uller, Dal, Godsir, Anantnag, Berinag, Sheshnag, Kosarnag, Nagin, Pangongso, Somureri, Gangabal, and Manasbal. So the Nag word is highly seen in Jammu and Kashmir's lake. If we move to Himachal Pradesh's lake, some of the important lakes are like Vrigu, Machial, Renuka, Burajtal, and Chandratal, right? The lakes of Uttarakhand all have tal, like Nainital, Dodital, Bhimtal, Sattal, Nokia-tal, Devtal, Khurpatal, Rakastal, and Malatal, right? Next, if we move to the lakes of Sikkim, it's in the Sunagma. The lakes of Manipur is Loktal. The lakes of Odisha is Chilka. The lakes of Telangana are Hussain Sagar and Nagarjun Sagar, right? The lakes of Andhra Pradesh are like the Koleru and Pulicat. We already discussed Pulicat is in the south and Koleru in the north, right? Between Godavari and Krishna. So G, K, K. Pulicat in the south. Pulicat also is P. So definitely K, P is after K, right? Next, Stanley and Kodaikanal and Kaliveli is in Tamil Nadu, right? Lake in Kerala is Vembanad and Astmudi. Lake in Karnataka are Belandur. Lake in Maharashtra are Lonar and Ponai. The lake in Rajasthan are like Ratsamanand, Jaisamand, Nakki, Sambhar, Fateh Sagar, Sunkarsar, Didwana, Pichola, Anna Sagar, Kuchaman, Dhibar, and Pushkar. These are the lakes of Rajasthan. The lakes of Chandigarh are like Sukhana Lake, right? So these are the important lakes of India, right? Very interesting to know. Another important fact from the lake was that shikaras are the houseboats of the lakes, right? Yeah, it's written here. Some formed by the glaciers, some by ice sheet erosion, some by river actions, right? Spits and bars form the lagoons in the coastal areas. Example: the Chilka, the Pulicat Lake, and the Koleru Lake, right? And it is the largest freshwater lake in India, the Uller Lake. Apart from the natural lake, the damming of the rivers for the generation of hydropower has also led to the formation of lakes such as the Guru Gobind Singh. Yes. Next, we move to the river pollution. So, if we discuss the river pollution, uh, rivers have a self-cleansing capacity. They can assimilate the dust and the pollution and all the chemicals. For example, the Ganga River, if a big city, Ganga River can assimilate the pollution up to 20 kilometers of that from the region of the flow of the big city, right? So it has healing capacity, but beyond a point, it will yield, it will give up. So to solve this large pollution, the government of India started the GAP from 1985 to 2008. Studied how we can. It implemented plans. It failed on some aspects and learned lessons, and it implemented those lessons in GAP Phase 2 from 2000 up till now. So GAP, that is Ganga Action Plan, is worked on Ganga, and the other part, that is NRCP. NRCP is National Rivers Conservation Plan, is applied on rivers apart from Ganga, right? So that's all. Thank you.